I went into heat early. And accidentally slept with my best friend's older brother. He's a strong, dominant alpha. And I'm a soft, sweet omega, on paper. We're a perfect match. But Gabriel's a legend when it comes to romance. He's seen more amazing omegas than I've eaten meals. There's no way he'd be into someone like me. Yet against all expectations, he took the initiative and said he'd take responsibility. I didn't want him to feel forced to stay with me just because of a one-night accident. Half joking, I told him, I'm super clingy. You know, once I fall for someone, I'm all in for life. You won't be able to shake me off, no matter how hard you try. Gabriel calmly lit a cigarette and replied, so that's the good part. What about the bad? 1. Let's get married. When are you free to go register? I'm good anytime. Gabriel said that while already dressed. His assistant had brought over a dark tailored suit. The custom fit hugged his frame perfectly, broad shoulders, slim waist. And yeah, a seriously good-looking rear. There were still faint red scratch marks on his neck. I mumbled, you're not joking, right? I was frozen in bed, only poking my head out from under the blanket. A set of clothes in my size was neatly folded on the cabinet beside me. The air was thick with pheromones. Cherry brandy and a youthful grapefruit scent tangled together. Heavy and sweet. Our clothes were scattered all over the floor. A silent testament to what had happened the night before. My heat had hit unexpectedly. And I ended up sleeping with Gabriel. But Gabriel is my best friend's older brother. We grew up chasing after him, watching as he flirted with one stunning omega after another. He's seen more beautiful, talented omegas than I can count. Gabriel leaned over me, his deep gaze slowly tracing down my body. Do I look like someone who jokes about this kind of thing? I awkwardly lowered my head, wanting to bury myself in the blanket. I couldn't even look at him. If Lincoln found out, he'd probably kill me. Yesterday we were just bros, now I'm going to be his brother-in-law. Gabriel's voice suddenly turned colder. Or are you saying, you're not willing? He's got it all: looks, charm, family background. The kind of alpha that omegas would line up for. All the way to France. Who wouldn't like him? I tried to laugh it off. I'm just saying. I get super attached. Once I like someone, that's it for me. If we got married, you'd never be able to get rid of me. I'm also super controlling. I'd be on your case all the time. If you marry me, you're asking for trouble. Gabriel walked over to the window and casually lit another cigarette. You've listed the pros. What about the cons? 2. It took me a while to process what he was saying. What did Gabriel mean by that? I was trying to make him dump me. I didn't need him to take responsibility. It was just a temporary mark anyway, it'd fade in a week. Still in disbelief, I asked again. Why me? Out of all the omegas who were chasing him, I was the most average. I hadn't even done anything to stand out. Gabriel looked at me from the corner of his eye and chuckled softly. Ever heard of a favor for a favor? I helped you through your heat. My sensitivity period is coming up, you can return the favor then. Okay. Sure. That made some kind of sense, but something still felt off. I stared at him blankly. He glanced at his watch. If there's nothing else, we'll leave it at that. See you at the Civil Affairs office at 3. Without giving me a chance to react, Gabriel opened the door and left. Something about the way he walked out felt like he was escaping. After he left, I finally climbed out from under the covers. Even though we'd done way more than just sleep together last night, I still felt embarrassed now that I was fully awake. Flashes of last night kept popping up in my head. His voice, low and sexy, full of warmth. Ethan. My cheeks instantly heated up. Gabriel had been the perfect lover. Attentive, gentle, always making sure I was okay. Afterward, he even carried me to the bathroom and gave me a proper bath. Careful and thorough. Ethan. Spill it, did you guys do it? Did you kiss? Did you go all the way? Did he mark you? Was it permanent or just temporary? The moment I left the hotel, I told Lincoln everything. He'd known about my longtime crush on his brother. Lincoln was so excited. He literally circled me several times, grinning from ear to ear. You realize your whole body reeks of his pheromones, right? You're practically marinated in it. Hee hee hee. 3. I lowered my head and sniffed my chest a little. Even though I'd changed clothes, that cherry brandy scent still lingered. So strong. It felt like it was coming from inside me. And honestly, it smelled good. I gave Lincoln a quick rundown of what happened last night. Your brother. Man. He's not what he seems. All cold and aloof on the outside, but under the suit. Damn. Lincoln looked smug. Of course. My brother's the top alpha in the whole city. I mimicked Gabriel's tone from earlier, channeling full CEO energy. What? You don't want to marry me? Being with Gabriel's such a hardship for you? Fine then, 3 p.m. at the registry office. I burst out laughing at my own impersonation. Lincoln was even more hyped than me. Holy crap, does this mean you're gonna be my sister-in-law now? I treated you like a bro. And you wanna be my sis-in-law instead? I raised an eyebrow. What? You're not okay with it? Lincoln's grin was blinding. Okay with it? I'm all in. Arms and legs included. Ethan. You finally got my brother. We're officially family now. Who's that insanely sweet, super smart, drop-dead adorable Omega? That's our Ethan. You two are a perfect match. I won't accept anyone else as my sister-in-law. I knew it, Lincoln always had my back. No matter what happened. He was the first to support me. No questions asked. Pure emotional gold. I gave him a quick kiss on his soft, pale cheek. All right. I gotta go get ready. I've got an appointment at the civil office later. 4. After I got home, I did my hair carefully and changed into my best outfit. At 1 p.m., I headed to the Civil Affairs Bureau with my ID in hand. I was buzzing with excitement the whole way there, everything felt like I was walking on clouds. Was I really going to marry Gabriel? The man I had secretly loved for so many years was about to become my husband. For real. As I watched the scenery blur past outside the window and glanced at the bouquet on the passenger seat, my heart raced. Then, a wave of unease crept in. The next second, a large truck lost control around a corner and came barreling straight at my car. I had no time to dodge. The impact slammed my car into the guardrail. Just before losing consciousness, I thought I saw Gabriel's face. I'm sorry. Looks like I'm going to miss our appointment. When I came to, it was 6 p.m. The doctor had just finished the surgery. My throat was burning, I couldn't speak at all. Thankfully, my fingers could still move. I could still type. Lincoln burst into tears the moment I woke up. We hadn't seen each other for a short while, and his eyes were already swollen from crying. He looked like a total mess. Lincoln was my emergency contact, so the doctors had called him after the crash. Tearfully, he looked at me and asked, Ethan, does it hurt? It must have hurt a lot. You lost so much blood. Oh my God. If it hurts, you can cry, go ahead. I'll wipe your tears and take care of everything. I slowly typed out a reply, Lincoln. I'm okay. But then it hit me, Gabriel. I quickly messaged him to explain. Sorry. I probably won't make it. Something happened on the way. Gabriel had already been waiting at the Civil Affairs Bureau for a long time. He'd been standing there for 4 whole hours. The staff had already left for the day. And I still hadn't shown up. I hadn't answered his calls or responded to his texts. When he finally saw my message, his expression went dark. He sent me a voice message. Ethan. Bailing at the last second? Wow. Impressive. He sounded furious. I replied, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not come. 5. The whole thing happened so suddenly. No one remembered to tell Gabriel what was going on. Lincoln couldn't take it anymore. He immediately called Gabriel. Bro. Chill. Okay. The first thing he did when he woke up was message you to explain. He's in the hospital right now, he can't even speak. Gabriel was clearly in a terrible mood, who wouldn't be? After being stood up for a marriage license? What did you say? Who are you calling his husband? He snapped. Lincoln explained. Ethan. He just got into a car crash. The moment Gabriel heard that, he panicked. Which hospital? XX hospital. Okay. I'm on my way. Truthfully, I didn't want Gabriel to know about the accident. I looked awful right now. My face was wrapped in gauze. And my body was a mess. What if he saw me like this and regretted marrying me? What if he thought I wasn't attractive anymore and backed out? Lincoln. You've totally set me up. I gave Lincoln a wounded look. He just flashed me an okay. Got it hand sign and then dialed Gabriel again. Bro. Hurry up. Ethan really wants to see you. If you're not here in 15 minutes. He said he's not waiting. Up to you. Gabriel answered instantly. Tell him not to worry. I'll be there in 10. I could hear the wind through the phone, he must have been running. After delivering his little white lie, Lincoln grinned and patted his chest. Ethan. Don't worry. I've got this. Wait. Lincoln. What are you doing? You're selling me out while I'm down. 10 minutes later. Gabriel showed up at the door. Slightly out of breath. Ethan. I'm here. 6. Lincoln got up smoothly and gave up his seat. Since you're here. Bro. I'll head out. Oliver just called, says it's urgent and he wants to talk in person. Then he turned to me. Ethan. Remember everything I told you. Good luck. He shot me a flirty wink before strutting out of the room. Now that I needed to rest and recover. The hospital room felt especially quiet. Gabriel's tall frame looked oversized next to the tiny hospital cot. He sat down awkwardly. Long legs struggling to fit under the bed. He wasn't in the same outfit as earlier. And even though his hair was a little messy, I could tell he'd taken time to style it. We stared at each other in silence. Lincoln had told me this was the perfect time to build a little intimacy with Gabriel. The fact that he rushed over here so fast definitely meant he cared about me. But I was too chicken to make a move. I quietly closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. And somehow, I really did fall asleep. When I woke up again, night had fallen completely. The room was so quiet it felt haunted. I turned my head slowly and blinked. Gabriel was right beside me, leaning in my direction. Sound asleep. I could hear his deep, steady breathing. If I were healthy, this bold little Omega, would totally be doing unspeakable things to him right now. I'd liked him for so long. It'd only be natural to give in a little. He'd understand. Right? But right now, I was powerless. It was like having a juicy steak dangling in front of me that I just couldn't reach. It was torture. My finger twitched. I barely brushed his ear. Gabriel stirred and slowly woke up. Ethan. You're awake. How are you feeling? Are you hurting anywhere? I'll go get the doctor. I quickly pulled my hand back before I could do anything inappropriate. 7. I couldn't even turn over. Bathe. Clean myself. Or eat properly. And Lincoln wouldn't let me hire a nurse. He dumped all of that on Gabriel. Lincoln, you don't get it. I'm giving him a chance to prove himself. If he wants to marry our Ethan, he's gotta pass the test. This wasn't a test for Gabriel, it was torture for me. But since I couldn't talk, The two brothers happily made all the decisions for me. As the patient in question, someone hand me some peanuts to eat while I suffer. Gabriel took care of me with surprising joy for a whole week. He lived by the motto, if he's my partner, I'll take care of him myself. And he meant it. He really took care of me, kept me well fed, clean, and healthy. He raised Lincoln. After all, he was no rookie when it came to caregiving. During my hospital stay, I barely suffered at all. The only suffering was being handled like a slippery little fish every day, flipped, cleaned, patted down by Gabriel's hands. No less. I wanted to rebel. I wanted to fight. I wanted to rise up and sing the anthem of the free. Gabriel just smiled, eyes full of affection. Resistance is futile. A few days later, whatever strange force had hijacked my throat finally gave way. I could speak again. The first thing I did after recovering was come clean with Gabriel. I hadn't dared before, my life had basically been in his hands. I'm sorry. I can't marry you. After surgery, I was out of immediate danger. I didn't look too badly hurt. But the doctor had warned about potential long-term effects. Sleeping with Gabriel had already felt like a dream come true. Marrying him, that was pure fantasy. If I ended up really sick later, wouldn't I just drag him down? He'd taken such good care of me these days. And I was genuinely touched. But that made me even more determined not to burden him. Gabriel's expression froze. Then he looked at me in disbelief. You're not marrying me? Why not? Based on what? Did you meet someone else while you were in the hospital? Fell for someone else? I shook my head. My nose stung. I couldn't hold back my tears. No. I just don't want to be a burden. Gabriel let out a bitter laugh. Then poked me gently in the forehead. Ethan. Are you a saint? No. Wait, are you just dumb? I mumbled. I'm not. Gabriel, then what's with the self-sacrificing act? Whether I want to marry you is my decision. And I do. I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. I want you bossing me around for the rest of my life. 8. Gabriel launched into a whole speech without even pausing. Seeing I was stunned, he casually pulled out his phone from his pocket. He showed me a video from that night. A video of me asking him for a kiss. And proof of how I begged him in a soft voice to help me. I said, help me. Please. Gabriel replied, I don't do things without something in return. I said, what do you want? I'll give you anything I have. Gabriel asked. Really? I nodded. Really? Gabriel responded. All right. Then remember this. You can't go back on your word when you wake up. This video is evidence. I promised. I'll do whatever Gabriel says. I'll repay him. Then came the kind of stuff we can't describe publicly. When the video ended, Gabriel said slowly, also, from another perspective, you spent the night with me. You have to take responsibility. Otherwise I might file a complaint. A pure-hearted alpha like me was deeply hurt, both body and soul. It'll take a long time for me to recover. You have two options, marry me. Or let me marry you. I was still dazed. Was I that wild during my rut? Did I really forget about Gabriel's feelings? From the corner, Lincoln was eavesdropping and grinning so wide his smile nearly reached his ears. Seeing that I was still unresponsive, he suddenly jumped out. Whoa. Wow wow wow. Bossy alpha in full effect. Ethan. Just say yes already. Hold on a second, Gabriel just said he's a pure alpha. I don't buy it. He was way too skilled that night. The way he kissed. Clearly practiced. Don't tell me he's just naturally talented. I grew up watching him, knew every one of his exes better than he did. But there was always one person Gabriel had feelings for, someone he loved for years and never got. Even Lincoln didn't know. But I did. 9. Back when I was secretly crushing on Gabriel, I even created a side account. Every day, I'd send him cringy, borderline obsessive messages. Gabriel, I like you so much, I could stare at you 100 times a day and still not get enough. Can I touch your abs? Just once. Pretty please. Ugh. Why are you so handsome? You've totally stolen my heart. Looking back at those overly dramatic messages now makes me want to crawl into a hole. But Gabriel never blocked me. He didn't delete me either. That in itself was a miracle. I'd written him letters, given him gifts, flowers, even money. I did everything I could. But I was a coward, so I stayed anonymous. None of the evidence ever pointed to me as Ethan. Then one night, Gabriel posted something on his story. He deleted it within a minute. But I had him on notifications, so I screenshotted it instantly. The post said, "There are many regrets in this world. Everything can be replaced, except for you." The photo was of a beautiful, delicate-looking male Omega, smiling just enough, looking straight into the camera. Outwardly, Gabriel seemed like a player. But every partner he dated resembled that person. That was Gabriel's true love. And I was just the runner-up, the person he settled for when he couldn't have the one he wanted. Well, even being the second choice felt like a win. Gabriel's charm was undeniable. He was handsome, charming, gentle to Omegas. Back in school, he was the heartthrob everyone loved. Later in life, he became the dream alpha of countless admirers. I'd been in love with him for years. And somehow, I was the one who got lucky. 10. After I was discharged, Gabriel and Lincoln practically dragged me to the marriage registry. We got our marriage certificate. Lincoln had been working overtime to brainwash Gabriel every day. "Bro, you better lock this in. Ethan's a total sweetheart, there are people lining up for him. Yesterday it was someone surnamed Lou. The day before, it was Goo. Today it's Chew. New suitors every day. If I weren't an Omega myself, I'd marry him. No one else better even think about it." In reality, most of those visitors were colleagues and relatives. No suitors. Zero. But Gabriel believed him. So off we went. Photo, click. Stamp, done. Certificate, in hand. Looking at the bright red, official-looking marriage certificate. Name of holder, Gabriel. Name of holder, Ethan. My brain felt like mush. Was this really happening? I grabbed Lincoln's arm and tried to bite it. Is this real? Did I actually marry Gabriel? Lincoln laughed, took my hand, and placed it into Gabriel's. "Ethan, it's real. Your dream came true." Then he leaned in and whispered, "Now that he's your husband, you can start using those encrypted files you sent me." Lincoln and I used to talk about certain things in private. I'd shared quite a few interesting files with him. Gabriel stood quietly nearby, like a model, radiating elegance. His gaze fell softly on me, full of affection. "What files?" he asked. My hand in his suddenly felt hot. My face turned beet red. "Nothing. Really. Nothing. Lincoln. Stop talking." Lincoln grinned like a proud auntie and said he wanted to take a commemorative photo. I stood next to Gabriel like a quail, hand in his, smiling blankly at the camera. Behind us, the entrance of the marriage registry office. Click. 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 Dozens of shots. Lincoln gasped. "Ethan. Look. This one's perfect." I glanced at it. It was perfect. Gabriel's features were striking. That strong, dramatic face of his, even in a plain white shirt, looked effortlessly stylish. He was captivating. Every hair in place. "Yeah. This one's good. Lincoln. You're a great photographer." Soon after, Lincoln got a call. His mysterious, arranged fiancée was summoning him. Ethan. Bro. I'm off. I'll send all the photos to your phones. Okay. 11. Once Lincoln left, the car fell silent. It was just me and Gabriel now. I felt oddly emotional. I was about to say something heartfelt, when Gabriel spoke first. Can I post on my moments? Ha! The photos Lincoln just sent. And our marriage certificate. If you want to. Sure. I said it like it didn't matter, but deep down, I really cared. Gabriel's moments, his social feed, had always been very clean. Aside from that one post I caught late at night, he rarely shared anything. He saved all the photos Lincoln sent. One by one. Each shot was great. He smiled unconsciously as he browsed through them. Eventually, he picked the one where we were both smiling brightly, holding up our red certificates. He typed out a caption, then posted it. Lincoln once told him, Ethan gets insecure easily. And with the marriage happening so suddenly, Gabriel had to be extra thoughtful, doing everything he could to make me feel safe, loved, and confident in this marriage. After posting, he handed the phone to me. Ethan. Is this okay? I opened his moments. The comments section was full of warm wishes and shock. Congrats. Wishing you a lifetime of happiness. Your spouse is gorgeous, cutest Omega in the universe. Gabriel. I'm coming back. Have you held the wedding yet? Am I invited? One of the comments didn't have a nickname, but I had a strong feeling who it was. 12. My mood went from pure happiness, like walking on clouds, to suddenly stepping into thin air and falling hard, crashing to the bottom of a valley. I stubbornly handed my phone back to Gabriel. I opened my own phone, itching to post a full grid on Instagram, loudly announcing to the world that Gabriel was now officially my alpha. That any Omega with other ideas should back off. But every single photo was so good, I couldn't pick just one. So I asked Lincoln to help me choose. While I was selecting photos, Gabriel casually said, Ethan, how about we hold the wedding after you've fully recovered? We'll do everything the way you want. Don't worry about the money. I was busy looking at the photos and barely heard him. Just said, okay. Gabriel continued. I've already told my parents about you. They really like you as their future daughter-in-law. Lincoln likes you as his sister-in-law too. You don't have to worry about a thing. I scrolled through the photos. Okay. Gabriel looked at me, swallowed, and hesitated for a moment. Then, do you want to move in with me tonight? Your injury isn't fully healed, and it'll be easier for me to take care of you. I quickly typed back. Okay. Gabriel's lips curled into a smile. His eyes curved with warmth. My dear Mr. Ethan. Can I call you my wife? My fingers froze for a second. Okay, ha. Gabriel leaned in and kissed me gently. Wife. I just instinctively said a bunch of okays. My mind was a tangled mess. Totally confused. Gabriel babbled on. But I didn't catch a word, except for that last one. When I finally realized what he said, my face turned redder than a monkey's behind. So embarrassing. Where was this old Omega's modesty supposed to go? But I shamelessly replied. At that moment, I decided to let go of that white moonlight from his past. Everyone has a history. Gabriel's present and future belong to me. And that's enough. 13. Gabriel and I both dislike that guy Oliver. He actually stole our beloved Lincoln away. And acts all cold and aloof about it, so annoying. Especially every night at 7 p.m. sharp. He insists on going home, no matter the event. His excuse is always, you know, I'm married now. Got a wife at home who keeps me in line. So I have no choice. So annoying. But Lincoln doesn't care about him like that. Still, Lincoln likes Oliver. Since Lincoln's arranged marriage, he can't visit me as often. Noticing I was unhappy, Lincoln even tried to talk me into it. Ethan, don't be like that. He said he knows he messed up. And he brought you a gift. See if you like it. This time, just go out with me alone. Okay. No, Oliver. I snorted. That's more like it. But Oliver is officially Gabriel's husband now, I can't cling to Lincoln like before. Alright then. I guess I have to look for Gabriel. Coincidentally, Gabriel went to a college reunion. All the messages I sent him were ignored. Usually, Gabriel likes to tell me if he has dinners or parties. He never ignores my calls or messages like this. Suddenly I remembered Gabriel asking me before he left. Ethan, are you really not coming with me? They all want to see you, to see what that kid who used to run after me has grown into. It was a college reunion. I was afraid they'd bring up Gabriel and that's someone else. So I refused. Are you sure you're not coming? No. Okay then. Wait for me at home. I'll bring you something tasty after hunting. I didn't want Gabriel to think I was a jealous Omega. So I never mentioned my feelings about the white moonlight or any exes. Secretly being jealous didn't fit my status as his official wife. Now, I have a tiny bit of regret. 14. Just as I was worrying, Gabriel called. Hello. Is this Ethan? A stranger's voice. Kind of pleasant. Alarm bells rang in my head. Who is this? I'm Gabriel's classmate. Here's the thing, Gabriel got drunk. Can you come pick him up? We're at XX bar. Okay. I'm on my way. I felt uneasy. Gabriel rarely gets drunk, he can hold his liquor well. Unless something or someone special happened. I rushed to the bar as fast as I could. Just as I reached the private room door, I overheard a few people talking. Did you know Lucas is coming back? He's bringing home a bunch of awards and honors. Who's that? Lucas? You don't know? He's the dream Omega for so many alphas. Now that he's back, I have someone new to dream about tonight. Gabriel? Forget it. Not a chance. Lucas was Gabriel's ex, his first love and white moonlight, the one he had to leave behind. They were together when they were young but broke up over future plans. Lucas went abroad to study. But during that time, Gabriel's parents got sick. Lincoln was still young. And the family needed him. They were forced apart for years. When Lucas' name came up, even the drunk Gabriel froze. I watched his expression. As if he was trying to recognize what they were saying. His head slowly turned toward them. Gabriel had never really forgotten him. Had he? After all, first love and white moonlight buffs are strong. Now Lucas was back with a splashy return, ready to claim everything he thought was his. I quietly clenched the door handle tight. Ethan. Ethan. Your good days are over. Your sweet dreams are about to end. 15. Not long after, Lucas really did return to the country. The whole circle was buzzing, making a huge fuss. Even Lincoln knew about him. Ethan. I saw Lucas that day. He's incredibly handsome, just like the rumors said. He's got a great personality too. Plays the piano beautifully. When there's a chance, I'll introduce you to. You'll definitely like him. Lincoln rarely gave such high praise to anyone except me. It felt like the name Lucas had completely taken over my world. I was extremely unsettled. A marriage certificate alone couldn't soothe me. I couldn't help but wonder, what if Gabriel's feelings for me were just out of duty? Not love? Or maybe it was just a fleeting fancy. Or maybe I only caught his eye because I looked like Lucas. If that were true, this delusional marriage would eventually fall apart. And whether I liked it or not, I'd have to let go. Gabriel's usual affection wasn't really for me. Ethan, it was for his so-called partner in name only. Anyone could be that person. Not just me. I wasn't special. I decided to take the initiative and meet this so-called white moonlight. He was an extremely handsome and elegant Omega, sitting at a grand piano. His pale, slender fingers danced over the keys, producing enchanting notes. He looked like a prince straight out of a fairy tale. "Hello. I'm Lucas." His poise, knowledge, and artistic aura far outshone me. Just standing there, he made me feel inferior without saying a word. "You're Gabriel's partner? I've seen your photos." Facing such a stunning person, I was especially nervous. Silently telling myself, I'm here to be firm and confident. "I'm telling you, Gabriel and I are already married. You don't stand a chance." Lucas smiled knowingly. "Sorry. You must be mistaken. I never go back. What's past is past, I have no regrets. I wouldn't do anything against my conscience. You're married, I won't cross any lines. Right now, Gabriel and I are just friends. And that will never change. I just wanted to wish you well. And if you invite me to the wedding, you'll get a free pianist." He gave me a playful, lively smile. While I was talking to Lucas, I didn't notice what was happening behind me. A drunken middle-aged man stumbled and almost bumped into me. Lucas quickly pulled me away and asked, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" His pale, slender fingers held my arm. As I got closer, I smelled a faint, pleasant scent. Very nice. His handsome face was filled with genuine concern. My cheeks started burning, and I stammered some words. "Oh, well. Okay then. I'll invite you when the time comes. And thank you. If Lucas is the white moonlight, then I can accept that. Isn't it natural to fall for such an Omega? If it were me, I'd have been secretly in love for years." 16. I wandered home in a daze, only to be stopped by Gabriel. "Ethan. What's wrong with you lately? You've been off. If something's bothering you, you can tell me. If not me, then Lincoln. If I'm not doing something right, you have to tell me." Looking at the tall alpha in front of me, who's been so good since we married, thoughtful and attentive, doing whatever I ask, like a husband well managed by his wife. After that college reunion incident, I made him promise to be home by 8 p.m. every day. Even though I was unreasonable, he seemed to enjoy it. I gathered courage and asked, "Gabriel, there's something I've wanted to ask but was afraid to. Why did you choose me?" Not the usual polite answer, I want the honest truth from your heart. Gabriel curled his finger and tapped my forehead twice. "Because I like you. Dummy." I asked again. "When did you start liking me? Was it after we married or before?" That mattered a lot to me. Gabriel said, "I have a contact named Bite a Mango. Do you know who that is?" "Bite a Mango? Isn't that the fake account I made?" Gabriel smiled without showing it. "That person sends me strange messages every day, in fact, trying to seduce me. Sometimes he messes up the account and sends selfies, then deletes them immediately. Even the anonymous love letters have mistakes." I got upset. I thought I was flawless, how could there be mistakes? "Don't say that." Gabriel lowered his head and looked into my eyes. "Ethan. Why do you think I keep him and don't delete him? Why do I ignore love letters from others but keep his? Why don't I care about others' heat cycles but pay attention to his?" I blankly asked. "Why?" He suddenly bent down and kissed my lips. His eyes dangerously locked on mine. "You tell me why." I tried to dodge. "I don't know." Behind me was a cold wall. In front was a pressing Gabriel. "Is it possible I knew it was you all along?" I didn't say anything, I'm a coward. But Lincoln is such a big blabbermouth. He's already spilled everything about me. 17. Actually, your eyes gave you away. Gabriel found out during a hot summer. He saw Lincoln sneak into his room secretly, then sneak out like a little mischievous mouse. Gabriel didn't expose him. But later, in the room, He found a blue love letter in his book. No signature. But the handwriting and style, he immediately recognized who it was from. Only that one person could get Lincoln to deliver a love letter for him. I used to think you were just a kid. A friend of Lincoln's. So I didn't make a move. But now that you're grown up, it's different. Gabriel's hands started teasing me everywhere. How can you grow so well? Everything about you is exactly what I like. Ethan. Can you calm me down? Wife. My heat cycles here. Wife. Help me. Please. Please. I really can't live without you. I couldn't resist even a tiny bit of Gabriel's charm. When he talks, I get soft in the knees. Okay. Okay. 2 hours later. We entered sage mode. Gabriel felt very wronged and misunderstood. He never dated so many exes, the only one he ever seriously liked was Lucas. His youthful crush was just a moment. As time passed, it became unclear whether there was more regret or love. Until the person in front of him appeared. And all his attention was drawn away. Love too. But unlike before, this love would grow stronger with time. Deep and unforgettable. I asked him. What about that one you brought back to your apartment to stay overnight? Gabriel explained. That was my cousin. Don't you think he looks a bit like Lincoln? I hesitated. But yeah. They did look similar. What about the one at the bar you were cozy with? I saw you put your arm around him. And he even reached inside your shirt. Gabriel gritted his teeth. I was drunk that night. And he's a beta. With a husband and kids. And the one caught by the media in hotel photos during a business trip. Spreading rumors. Gabriel was furious. Don't even mention that. He was desperate to get in my bed. The media stories were bought by him. And the girl I saw you flirting with. Almost kissing. Laughing. And you even posted photos of her on your social media? Gabriel gradually calmed down. You know her. She's my college roommate. We lost a game. And that was the penalty. Gabriel's reputation has suffered over the years. Rumors flew everywhere. But he never cared to explain. Immersed in his playboy life. Now the boomerang is hitting him back. Gabriel said, it hurts. Almost got hurt by my own wife. He really can't live without his wife. 18. Later. We held a grand wedding ceremony. It officially made our once anonymous secret love public. When I liked him, he was quietly watching over me. Indulging me. Loving me. A year later. We had a lovely child named Parker. He's a cool and handsome beta. Parker perfectly inherited the best genes from both Gabriel and me. He's had his own opinions since he was little. With a steady personality. And he loves his food the most. With such an angelic little one. I couldn't help but show him off at Lincoln's house every chance I got. Of course. I did just that. A few years later. Lincoln also had an equally adorable child. Named Samuel. A cute alpha. Maybe influenced in the womb. Samuel is always clinging to Parker. Following right behind him. Calling him Big Brother in a sweet little voice that could melt anyone's heart. An idea struck me. And it happened to match Lincoln's thoughts as well. So, we arranged a childhood engagement between the two kids. As for the future, well, that's up to their fate. But I believe the ending will be happy and perfect.